evening, everybody. How we all doing? Had to make sure I didn't have something turned on that I didn't mean to. Pretty sure I'm blasting you with music right now. Well, we're going to be starting the Kreigsman off tonight, but obviously we're doing the special little treat where I'm going to have analog horror playing while we paint. Just waiting to see if everybody's in yet. Hi, Boats. How you doing? I got a thing where it starts when I string. I'm doing good. We just joined. Oh, your profile picture's messed up, that's why. Alright. Let's minimize that. We can close that. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I meant to do a VR stream yesterday. I didn't. I didn't have the energy. Thank you for the hydrate and the posture check. And the stretch. To be fair, I need something to help me pop my shoulder, so we'll see. Now this is where I have to hope when I switch over to mini painting, I don't accidentally have the camera turn on. It shouldn't. Okay, we can close that. Camera is not centered. Does that camera need to be cleaned? Just a smidge. You're all filthy. There. And let's see, I believe. Oh no, Bo just got a gun! Why is that not... You got a... Is this the one I said? Yes, it is. Alright, good. Window capture. That's just a black void. Also, why is chat not appearing in stream anymore? I need to get an overlay so you guys can actually see what you're writing. Ew, why does that not look right? I resize it at some stupid point? I'm betting I resize it at some stupid point. Oh, right, because this is how we used to watch Shiny when she was doing VR stuff. No. Is it Alt? It is Alt. Also, I heard that new Halloween sound. Why is it off center? There we go. I think it's right. Can I see?
On planet Earth, life has thrived for millions of years. Creatures big and small have found ways to adapt and evolve to flourish in all types of environments. From barren wastes to lush forests, life can be found. Earth has homed these creatures since the dawn of life itself. Only until very recently, things have...
Why is that all off?
New life forms have appeared all around the globe and completely changing the balance of nature and what we know about evolution itself. That is why we, at National Living Meat Research, have been studying these new species, trying to help educate everyone about these creatures and their wondrous ways of life. First, what are these new life forms? Since their explosive arrival across the globe in 1931, there has been much debate on what these newcomers are and where they came from. Are they extraterrestrials coming to invade Earth? Or are they demons who come from hell to purge humanity? From what our scientists have discovered,
it's not going to affect what we're looking at.
The origins of these creatures are solely to Earth, miraculously out of nowhere. We don't know why or how, but one thing is for certain, Earth is now their home. What these creatures are is mysterious and still not well known today. But here is what we do know. These creatures are comprised mainly of muscle tissue, organs, and bones. They greatly resemble animals with no skin, or store-bought meat. Because of these characteristics, they have been named accordingly as Vita carnis. The carni species consume decaying, organic matter, but their main diet is composed of raw meat, not including their carnis relatives. The carnis only appear in places where there is an abundance of crawl, which
Sorry, I'm about to hit something.
leads to the first creature of the carnis species, the crawl. The crawl is a growth of meaty tendrils that closely resemble the small intestine, the only difference being the dark red coloration. These tendrils grow in a similar pattern as vines, mold, or fungi.
Here's the annoying part.
A primary stem structure is the host to divisions of other, smaller branches. In each tendril contains a variety of veins, arteries, and other similar organs used to transport nutrients absorbed from its surroundings. The ends of these tendrils are equipped with organelles used to absorb water and organic matter necessary for growth. The source of these organic materials is mainly found in dirt and soil on surrounding surfaces. Using its root-like tendrils.
Okay, and I have to move one thing because I just realized it might pop up when I move it. Because I know somebody is playing with the audio sounds right now. Also, hi YouTube. Forgot to say hi to you guys too.
It absorbs the material and processes it into usable energy.
Alright, here we go.
The crawl also obtains energy through another means. Using a sophisticated form of photosynthesis. The dark pigmentation of the smaller branches is ideal for absorbing sunlight, and therefore allowing solar energy to fuel the crawl's growth. Because of its efficiency, it thrives in almost all types of environments, easily allowing it to spread across the world, and can be found pretty much anywhere. Its recent inclusion in the ecosystem has caused many major changes in nature's balance. One may assume that the crawl's presence may outcompete any other competitors, but due to its unique life cycle, where old branches fall off and decay into nutrient-rich compost, all forms of life seemingly flourish instead. The crawl's abundance grants plenty of nourishment to all animals, from plants feeding on the decayed crawl, herbivores thriving on increased plant population, and carnivores feeding on both the abundant prey, and are able to eat the crawl as well.
Bad.
The presence of all these animals leave behind waste, which will be broken down and consumed by the crawl, and the cycle begins again. This form of symbiosis leads to an environment where all populations thrive. Humanity also uses the crawl to our advantage. Because of the supernatural rate of growth and its richness in nutrients, it has been sustainably cultivated into domestic farms. The crawl is harvested and processed into fertilizer, which greatly increases crop yield and quality. The crawl may also be used as a food source for humans, and reliably so. But due to its unkindly appearance and taste, it has yet to reach cuisine standards. The crawl also plays a very important role in the next creatures that we have been studying. Sometimes, in a crawl-populated environment, a node of meat may develop on one of the branches. This node will fall off and grow into a functioning organism, and go to live on as an independent animal. This leads us to the upcoming species that we will be discussing. The first of these creatures are the trimmings.
Joy.
The trimmings. Trimmings are small animals that resemble skinned raccoons. They are commonly known to have a plump body, round head,
skinned
small
raccoon.
eyes, nose and ear holes, and an agape mouth. They are also equipped with a diversity of limbs. All individual trimmings are unique, each with a different body shape, number of limbs, and other characteristics.
That just sounds like a mutant.
One thing they all share in common is
It's
that
just
they are
Tyranids.
made mostly of meat tissue, and are a maximum of 20 centimeters in length, no larger than a basketball. Its life starts with its separation from the crawl. It will wonder to find anything that is edible and able to consume. Although it is an omnivore, being able to hunt meat and forage for plant matter, trimmings are almost entirely scavengers. Their diet consists of rotting plants and meat, including, but not limited to, fruits, vegetables, roots, seeds, insects, and deceased animals.
See, that's
Although its
concerning.
appearance is unsightly, it is a cowardly creature, only fleeing, screeching, and hiding when threatened. Because of its lack of defensive traits, it lies near the bottom of the food chain, making it easily overpowered and picked off very regularly by predators. Naturally, its population...
Mind you, it's birthed from basically a fungus. It wants to be eaten. I don't even have to guess. I don't even have to keep watching to know. It wants to be eaten.
would eventually die out. This is not the case. The crawl constantly produces a large quantity of trimming nodes, keeping up their numbers. Naturally, trimmings can be found wherever there is abundant crawl. Trimmings grow at a decent pace, reaching maturity at around 7 months, having a maximum lifespan of 2 to 4 years. Although they are plentiful, humanity has no proper way to implement trimmings into society. Their overabundance has even considered them pests. Due to them digging through trash bins and making
Yes,
excessive
they would
noise at night.
immediately be trash. they would immediately be pests.
Besides all of this, some people still keep trimmings as pets and relatively domesticate them. Nuisance or not, trimmings are a wondrous creature. From their plentiful numbers to their skittish nature, they are truly a thing to behold. The next species on our list is the meat snake.
Right.
The meat snake. The meat snake is a worm-like creature, made of a variety of types of meat, coated in a transparent, skin-like membrane. Its size varies during its lifespan, depending on how much it consumes. When it first separates from the crawl, it is only a few centimeters in length. Eventually, it will reach an average length of 5 meters. Although, under extreme conditions, like natural disasters, war, or plague, it can greatly surpass this length. The meat snake's diet consists entirely of dead animals or parts. A meat snake is incapable of consuming a healthy, living organism. The meat snake allocates its food by using a tongue-like organ covered in sensors to touch and feel its environment. The sensors catch particles of decaying meat, notifying the meat snake that there is food nearby. This process shares many similarities to regular snakes, hence the meat snake's name. Once it locates the corpse, the meat snake will open its jaw and swallow the entire body whole. Once the entire body is consumed, the meat snake's stomach will release a variety of chemicals. Some will break down soft tissue like skin and the connection points between muscles. Others chemicals will then ferment and preserve the tissue to keep it from breaking down for as long as possible. After that, the remaining flesh and bones will move along the meat snake's tract and slowly be implemented into its own structure, extending the meat snake. Unsatisfactory parts like skulls, pelvises, hair, and fingernails will be excreted.
Yeah, we're watching Vita Carnis while we paint.
Speaking of skulls, the meat snake will take the skull from the consumed organism and use it as its own. Each meat snake has its own skull, each corresponding to what that one has consumed.
Okay.
During its lifespan, it will swap or...
Yeah, no!
replace these skulls if needed. A meat snake's lifespan depends entirely on how much a meat snake consumes. The longest one has lived for was 28 years. The meat snake has no predators and is immune to disease due to its preserving chemicals. The only significant ways a meat snake can die is through starvation, burning, or complete destruction of the meat snake's membrane coating. Interestingly, the meat snake is the only member of the Carnis family that is able to reproduce. When a meat snake reaches an excessive size, and is in the conditions to do so, it will commence mitosis, splitting itself in two. Then the now two meat snakes will go on their separate ways and live on as two distinct organisms. Meat snakes can only be found in moderate temperature climates, not too hot, not too cold.
Not too hot, not too cold. Literally shows most of the fucking planet.
Available. Where there is death, there are meat snakes. Humanity will use them to our advantage. Meat snakes are a very efficient and clean way of disposing of any meat products.
Ooh, thank you for the voice.
The preserving fluid within the meat snake's body disinfects the carrion, preventing the spread of disease. Humans use meat snakes in butcher shops as a waste bin, dispose roadkill, within war on the battlefield to dispose of festering bodies and parts, and within zoos to dispose of deceased animals. They are extremely tame, not caring if any creature is around them.
Completely tame! Looks like it's about to attack the photographer.
Ooga booga.
Ooga booga. 1 second, there we go. So you can see this live with me. Yeah, no. Completely harmless.
defensively when it is within consuming a meal. This means they are very easy to tame.
Very easy to tame.
Overall, meat snakes are a marvelous creature with a very interesting way of sustaining itself.
See, the skull thing's kind of cool.
It is an amazing experience to encounter one, as long as you don't mind the smell. Our next creature is the mimic.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can. Ooh, the mimic. Joy.
Yeah, this is the one I kind of knew about. This is the creepier one. Because, well, it says it in the name. That's orc flesh. I don't want orc flesh. I want... There's the camo version.
The mimic. The mimic is a bipedal creature with uncanny similarities to humanoid anatomy. They greatly resemble humans without skin, with added exaggerated features. These features include extended finger length, longer limbs, bulging, empty eyes, and their most prominent feature, a wide, teeth-filled smile. Although it resembles a happy face, this isn't a coincidence.
A happy
it
face!
is only how their facial structure is shaped. The mouth of the mimic contains much more teeth than humans, and their teeth is comprised almost entirely of incisors, with some canine and premolars in the back. This tooth composition is ideal for biting down onto meat and swallowing chunks whole. A mature mimic's diet is comprised entirely of human flesh.
Mind you, the music fucking stops to let that kind of simmer. Like, it is complete. It eats human flesh.
Because of this, they are found solely around human.
But I love when they do that. It's like here's an example of the mimic.
The mimic's life cycle is made of 3 stages. In the first stage,
it's cute like that.
Separates from the crawl.
You zoom in just and like that, like distorted like
relatives, but are
sound.
Sleek, and only have 4 appendages. In this stage, the young mimic will hunt small animals, moving on to larger and larger as they grow. Once large enough, it will begin metamorphosis into the next stage of life.
Hunts rats and shit. So
Once fully transformed, it will resemble the description mentioned in the beginning. Its hunting style changes and becomes much more complicated. It now stalks and feeds only on humans. It will locate human-populated area and begin its search for an easy target. To blend in, it may use objects to conceal itself. These include clothing, mannequins, and furniture.
Oh, fuck the mannequin.
Once the target has been found, the mimic will
that's a big L. Nope.
Routine and when it is most vulnerable. This is typically when the human is asleep at night. Once the prey is within position, the mimic will advance silently until it is close enough. The mimic will then execute and immediately begin consumption.
Ah, yes, the
Once the
disturbing
mimic
sound to
has
make you
filled,
go, ooh, that's
it
creepy.
will leave the scene, a fair distance away from the human population, and begin to digest its meal. Although, in the case that a human is awake, a mimic will use a variety of sounds to either lure or startle prey into cornering themselves.
Yeah.
Once a human is in place, it will swiftly attack and kill the helpless target.
Yep, and this is when we start getting the semi-animated stuff. Because I have started to watch Vita Cardis before. No, it's like... It's... Yeah, no, it's in there. See, I don't remember if it's animated or if they just made a really convincing hand.
That look, God. What? Okay, that actually got me.
That part I've seen before, because I knew that.
This stage of the mimic's life cycle has
I don't really watch like a bunch of analog horror stuff, so like, I didn't know shit was about to happen.
Supply of food, It will develop more human-like
there's a
features.
guy who
It will grow skin,
reviews,
hair, and by the end will look nearly identical to a human being.
who reviews these things,
It
and
now
he
can blend
kind of like
entirely into
summarizes them.
civilization and lure on the humans more effectively.
So I've seen certain clips, like the best of
The
parts.
second type of morph happens when a mimic receives an overabundance of food. It will grow into a larger,
Oh, there
more
it is, right
evolved
under the
hunter.
fucking...
Its proportions will increase in length, and its humanoid features will fade away. It grows a thick, dark coating of a flexible skin, which is highly durable, and increases in strength the more the elder mimic consumes. This excludes the face, which is now coated in a pale pink skin. The mimic's teeth have also moved deeper into the mimic's throat, leaving its mouth a toothless grin. It uses the dark hue of its skin to hide seamlessly within a dark environment. Its skills have also been heightened. This makes an elder mimic one of the most efficient predators on the planet. Because of the obvious threat this poses on humanity, nations around the world have released instructions on how to be able to fend for yourself in a mimic encounter. Here are the instructions.
1.
Curl up and die.
Avoid
and your
going
ass will
out
die.
alone if your location is known to have mimics, or there have been mimic sightings. 2. If you encounter a station,
God, imagine like one of those like emergency broadcast things, but it's like mimic detected in your area.
Leave the
Oh,
location
pretty
and
much.
alert your local
But the thing is,
authorities.
they basically hunt
3.
only humans, which means
If
they're
pursued
basically
by a
everywhere.
mimic, get yourself
Yeah.
into a position where you are able to flee. Mimics will rarely attack if a person has a clear escape route.
That's
4.
the thing. If it has,
In the event that
yeah, that's the thing to think about. They won't attack if you have a clear escape route, which means these things are smart enough to go, By the way, if you watched from the beginning, yeah, these things basically are grown from a. We're not sure if they're demons or aliens,
Oh, lovely.
but they're just here now, and we just kind of accept it, and they've been here long enough. To which point I'm like, fire. Fire the great unifier.
Yeah.
Because
John
that is,
Carpenter.
that is actually a thing. The way matter works in our universe, if something can survive fire, run.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no, if something can survive getting burnt alive for any amount of time, you don't want to fuck with it. Get away.
Yeah.
you have been cornered by
But
a
just the way
mimic,
matter
roll
works, it's like
into the
eventually
fetal
fire
position,
will work.
protecting your neck, face, and vital organs from attack. Make as much noise as you can to alert any other people. 5. If you have a weapon, do not use it. A mimic is fairly resilient, and any strikes or shots on a mimic is not effective enough to bring it down in time.
Fire.
Instead, use it as a barrier between you and the mimic to block any attacks. 6. In a situation where a mimic is hunting in the immediate area and is not aware of your position, hide somewhere low, like under a bed or behind other furniture. A mimic will not linger too long to search for prey and will move on.
Bull.
Be safe
Shit.
and avoid any encounters with a mimic at all costs. Next up, the Harvester.
Ooh. Crunchy.
Hmm.
Yeah, so, yeah, fire's the great unifier. They're like, don't use a weapon on it. Literally the first thing you should just try and use is, oh hey, I've got this thing that's meant to burn weeds with. And I've got a full tank of propane. Let's see what happens.
The Harvester. The Harvester is a large, bulbous mass, with a large amount of tendrils spreading from the base.
Ooh, tendrils.
The bulb measures around 3 meters in height and 2 meters in diameter. The tendrils, on the other hand, can extend up to 150 meters in diameter horizontally.
Speaking of,
The
I'm waiting on
harvester
some
is
art
a
to get
specialized
posted.
form of crawl that grows in a unique and deadly way.
Miss
A
Icy
harvester
is
is
doing
created
a
when a
special
node that will grow into a harvester, instead of separating,
thing.
continues
And I
to
paid
grow.
for one of those.
Eventually, it will grow tendrils of its own. It uses the energy provided by
I
its
might
mother branch and
pay the
expands
color,
its
but
reach
I've got
further.
it in,
Its tendrils, hidden just below the
black and
surface
white.
of the ground. The harvester is equipped with two types of specialized tendrils. The first type is bulky and flat. They lie the closest to the surface. These branches are lined on each length of the tendril with spines, extending in the shape of a bear trap. On each side of the
Mind you,
branch, those particular spines
the
have a
fact
vein
that
that
it
feed
looks
into
like a
them
bear trap.
that pump two types of venom. On one side, the spines can inject a neurotoxin, which will attack the nervous system of whomever it is injected into, causing sudden paralysis. The other side can inject an anticoagulant, which when injected, prevents blood cells from clotting.
That's more concerning. Hi, a paralytic and an anticoagulant? Yeah, this thing's a vampire.
Hey kids, did you ever want to die from a paper cut?
Basically. Well, the thing is, it's a paralytic and something to prevent you from, and something to prevent you from, it's a paralytic and it keeps your blood from clotting, which means it's going to keep you alive.
Yeah.
Whenever a large animal moves across the area armed with these tendrils, the branches will clamp onto the animal and thrash violently. Once the prey has been injected with both venoms, the tendrils will rest and the prey will immediately collapse. The animal will be unable to move due to the paralysis, and the wounds caused by the thrashing spines will not stop bleeding. All the prey can do is lie patiently until succumbing to blood loss. Once the prey has bled out, the second type of tendrils come in. They lie below the spine equipped once. These branches are thin, but very sturdy. They share similar
paralyzes you
anatomy
and waits
to
for
the
you to
small
bleed out.
branches of the crawl, equipped with organelle that absorbs nutrients. These tendrils sense the blood and move their way to the surface and begin to absorb the vital fluid. Once the blood has been consumed, the tendrils will wrap around the body and begin to shuffle downwards. This movement loosens the soil and slowly pull the body underground. Once secure, the tendrils will continue to feed until there is nothing but scraps. The nourishment absorbed by the tendrils will be sucked back into the main bulb of the harvester. This bulb houses all the vital organs and the venom glands that pump into the spines. The nutrients are then converted into usable energy. The remains underground decompose, providing a rich soil, causing very prominent plant growth, which then attracts more animals.
See, that's the creepy part about
A
it.
strange behavior the harvester displays as its choice of diet. The spines will only activate on larger animals, allowing smaller ones to pass by unaffected. The
That's
spines
done on
will
purpose,
also
too.
not activate on some species of bird. There are a couple theories as to why this happens. One, it could be that attacking smaller animals would cost too much energy for what they get in return, making it not worth the time. Another could be that smaller animals may attract larger animals or predators, allowing a safe place where prey may thrive and lure more predators. It truly is astonishing. Although it is a spectacular creature, it is also very dangerous. The harvester is decently rare, only populating sparse areas in the northern hemisphere and woodland forests.
Of course it's in the
If you are
Appalachians
stung
here.
by a harvester,
Shit.
there will be no way of helping you, being that there is no cure, and fatality is 100% positive. The best thing you can do is avoid encountering a harvester in the first place. If you are hiking, take note of any warnings or signs saying that there are harvesters around. If you also notice an abundance of lush, ground-dwelling plants in a forested area, and there are no signs of wildlife, this is suspicious and you should leave the area, staying close to the base of large trees or rocks. If you find yourself in the middle of a harvester ground, do not panic. Sudden movements may activate the tendrils and will inject you. Although a harvester is rather forgiving, do not risk any skittish movements. Remain calm. If you have any objects with considerable heft, like coats, backpacks, or full water bottles, gently take that object and lightly toss it towards the bulb, and away from your escape route. This will activate the spines on where the object lands, distracting the bulb for a moment. You will then slowly begin to do wide shuffles away from the bulb. If possible, throw another object when you are certain you are a fair enough distance away, just to be safe. Continue until you are completely sure you are out of harm's way. You may come out unscathed, but don't be too obnoxious, or you will be a harvester's next meal.
See, that just
Next up
screams.
is the host.
Yeah, that. Yeah, that screams to me that that's just more the actual fungus just growing into a bigger thing.
Yeah.
Because there's the tendrils or whatever it's called at the beginning.
The host of influence. The host of influence, more commonly referred to as the host, has its name derived from a host who invites guests to an event. Not to be confused with a host, a harborer of parasites or disease. The host is a semi-humanoid looking organism. It has the structure of a head, torso, and arms. Other than this, it shares no other characteristics. The lower half of the host is comprised of a mass of fibrous tissue and tendrils that burrow into the ground to hold the host in place. Instead of skin, the host is covered in muscular tissue fibers, tendons, and veins. In some parts of the body
Girls
are
just
covered
chilling
in a
there.
mini plate, used to cover any large exposed areas, but allowing movement. The host's head has a smooth surface where the face should be, attached to a crooked neck, which houses a slit in the front
This is a
used for
crooked man.
feeding. On the host's back is a mound of pores. Protruding from these pores are hollow, hair-like structures, extending outwards. These hairs are barrels that release spores produced within host's body by being fired into the air. These spores are hazardous, so keep clear of them at all costs. Luckily,
Yeah.
the host is rare, only found in North America.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Obtaining info about the host is a very risky and daunting task.
Once again, I saw a lot of the
This
red
is
over
because
in
of
the
the rarity and of how dangerous
Appalachia.
it is to be up close to
Well,
one.
I am.
The source released
Source.
by a host is very dangerous when inhaled. A host will release a cloud of spores into the air, which will be picked up by wind and carried great distances. If an organism inhales the spores, the particles will find their way into the organism's brain and infect them.
Great.
An infected organism will show no symptoms of infection right away, but a couple hours after infection the infected organism's behavior and thought process will change. The first symptoms that appear are restlessness, sluggish movement, numbness of joints, and lack of coordination. Then more serious symptoms appear over time. These include dizziness, migraines, impaired speech, and trembles.
So,
If you or someone you know show these symptoms, contact poison control or emergency services.
let's see. Do you know how many
After a total of
diseases
6
match
to
that?
7 hours after infection, the organism will
Yeah.
cease all activities they were previously doing and begin to walk. The direction the infected will walk is towards the host whose spores have been inhaled by the infected individual. If the infected makes their way to the host, they will kneel down in front of it, expose their vital organs, and the host will promptly gut and remove those organs. The host will consume them and discard the leftover scraps. However, if an infected organism doesn't reach the host within a 36-hour span or is treated for their infection, the effects will wear off and return back to normal. If a host is unable to find prey or doesn't like its current location, it will unroot itself and move to a new location.
Oh joy.
Their scarce numbers and the hazard of being around one makes getting info about the host very daunting. All you need to currently know is that the host is extremely dangerous and should be avoided at all costs. Next, the monoliths.
Like I said, I don't know if I want to do red helmet or if I would at least want to do red shoulder pads, and then something else for the helmet.
Red shoulders, knees, and toes.
The monoliths. The monolith is a very new creature, only showing up in June of 1972, in the area of...
No,
There
it's
are
Canada,
only
at
7
least.
monoliths, all of them located in a circular position, 1.5 kilometers in diameter. This ring of monoliths surrounds... The monolith is a Titanic-sized being, measuring roughly 120 meters in height. Each monolith has 2 trunk legs that are firmly embedded underground. The legs connect to a torso. The creature itself is made of hundreds of thousands of meaty strands, tightly woven together to
So what
form
I'm
the
assuming
structure.
is it's the host.
These strands end at the neck, fusing into a solid mass of hardened flesh in the shape of an upside-down triangle, with a hole in its center. On each side of the monolith where arms would be, there are dozens of long, rope-like appendages. These reach just barely to the ground. At the creature's feet, the strands go deep into the earth and extend horizontally a decent distance away. What the monoliths do is simply stand and do nothing.
They're just
The only
standing there
activity documented that the
menacingly.
monoliths have done was in... During this period, they were extremely aggressive. When the group of were making their way to the city,
Good God, this sounds like
the
a great
monolith
porno.
that they had passes roared a deep bellow and swung its appendages at the team, completely wiping them out. When military vehicles were dispatched, once they got close enough top the monolith, it roared another call, this time releasing an EMP blast, completely knocking the vehicles out in the vicinity. Finally, long-distance rockets were fired and struck the creature.
Okay, you shot rockets at it's like these things. Yeah. Now we're getting into like Eldritch Nightmare shit.
Although damaged, it regenerated at great speed and resumed its stance unscathed. Eventually, the area has been fenced off and is now restricted to all. Ever since, the monolith stands silently, now only a grand spectacle of awe and mystery, only adding more questions to these meat beings. And finally, the last creature on this list is marvelous and majestic world that exists today. It's as extraordinary to have such strange and mysterious beings appear all around us. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery of the lives of these living meat creatures.
Yeah, mind you, the fact that it's a meat company that is doing these tells me, great, we're eating them, aren't we?
On planet Earth, life has thrived for millions of years. Creatures big and small have found ways to adapt and evolve to flourish in all types of environments. From barren wastes to lush forests, life can be found. Earth has homed these creatures since the dawn of life itself. Only until very recently, things have changed. New life forms have appeared all around the globe and completely changing the balance of nature and what we know about evolution itself. That is why we, at National Living Meat Research, have been studying these new species, trying to help educate everyone about these creatures and their wondrous
Okay,
ways
it's just
of
called
life.
National Living Meat, but that's still concerning.
First, what are these new
Yeah.
life forms? Since their explosive arrival across the globe in 1931, there has been much debate on what these newcomers are and where they came from. Are they extraterrestrials coming to invade Earth? Or are they demons who come from hell to purge humanity? From what our scientists have discovered, no. The origins of these creatures are solely to Earth, miraculously out of nowhere. We don't know why or how, but one thing is for certain, Earth is now their home. What these creatures are is mysterious and
That's not
still
how
not
that
well
works.
known today. But here is what we do know. These creatures are comprised mainly of muscle tissue, organs, and bones. They greatly resemble animals with no skin, or store-bought meat. Because of these characteristics, they have been named accordingly as Vita carnis. The carni species consume decaying, organic matter, but their main diet is composed of raw meat, not including their carnis relatives. The carnis only appear in places where there is an abundance of crawl, which leads to the first creature of the carnis species, the crawl. The crawl is a growth of meaty tendrils that closely resemble the small intestine, the only difference being the dark red coloration. These tendrils grow in a similar pattern as vines, mold, or fungi. A primary stem structure is the host to divisions of other, smaller branches. In each tendril contains a variety of veins, arteries, and other similar organs used to transport nutrients absorbed from its surroundings. The ends of these tendrils are equipped with organelles used to absorb water and organic matter necessary for growth. The source of these organic materials is mainly found in dirt and soil on surrounding surfaces. Using its root-like tendrils, it absorbs the material and processes it into usable energy. Although, the crawl also obtains energy through another means. Using a sophisticated form of photosynthesis, the dark pigmentation of the smaller branches is ideal for absorbing sunlight, and therefore allowing solar energy to fuel the crawl's growth. Because of its efficiency, it thrives in almost all types of environments, easily allowing it to spread across the world, and can be found pretty much anywhere. Its recent inclusion in the ecosystem has caused many major changes in nature's balance. One may assume that the crawl's presence may outcompete any other competitors, but due to its unique life cycle, where old branches fall off and decay into nutrient-rich compost, all forms of life seemingly flourish instead. The crawl's abundance grants plenty of nourishment to all animals, from plants feeding on the decayed crawl, herbivores thriving on increased plant population, and carnivores feeding on both the abundant prey, and are able to eat the crawl as well. The presence of all these animals leave behind waste, which will be broken down and consumed by the crawl, and the cycle begins again. This form of symbiosis leads to an environment where all populations thrive. Humanity also uses the crawl to our advantage. Because of the supernatural rate of growth and its richness in nutrients, it has been sustainably cultivated into domestic farms. The crawl is harvested and processed into fertilizer, which greatly increases crop yield and quality. The crawl may also be used as a food source for humans, and reliably so. But due to its unkindly appearance and taste, it has yet to reach cuisine standards. The crawl also plays a very important role in the next creatures that we have been studying.
I think it's like all of the videos we just saw together in one
in a
video.
crawl-populated environment, a node of meat may develop on one of the branches.
Unless it happens to add something.
The last creature on this list.
Yeah, it does the orb, so it goes into the orb though.
The singularity is an orb comprised of a dark-colored mineral with hints of luminous colors within its core. The singularity is estimated to be 1 meter in diameter. The orb has several unique qualities that are not well understood. The singularity typically can be found suspended in air by an unseen force. There are also a variety of reading that have been documented coming from the orb itself. Various things like magnetic fields, energy signatures, and other pattern-like signals released by the singularity. The population of these creatures is unknown.
Also, mind you, these music sound like
the singularity is hidden or confiscated by officials. We were only able to receive one classified document about the singularity being held by...
Marvelous and majestic world that exists today, it's as extraordinary to have such strange and mysterious beings appear all around us.
Yeah, bullshit.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery of the lives of these living meat creatures.
So we're trying to test one real quick. to see how I like it.
This could be the greatest discovery of the age.
Let this feeling in.
Have any information of the whereabouts of...
Be making a dish that has recently gained a fair amount of popularity. Today's dish will be a cheesy called penne.
This ain't no longer a heel cooking show.
Start off. These
Oh, it's still
are the
Vita Carne.
ingredients you will need.
Cook at home, cheesy penne.
Cups of penne pasta. Roughly 3 cups worth of fresh crawl. Try to get a variety of sizes.
Oh, crawl.
when you
I just
buy
realized.
these,
Yeah.
Or when you harvest them yourself. 1
That
cup
took me a
of
second.
cheese. Half a cup of green onion. 1 teaspoon of salt.
Like I said, people are going to
2
start eating it, and that's when
tablespoons
things are
of
going to get
Cajun
really
spice.
wuggy.
2 tablespoons of parsley, 1 tablespoon of dill, 1 tablespoon of garlic, a pinch of pepper, and finally, the most crucial ingredient, Nutrier Company's newly released Flavor Enhancer.
Yes,
Bring out the
flavor
richness
enhancer.
of flavors within each
Not
and every
seasoning,
meal.
flavor enhancer.
First, get a medium-sized pot and fill half of it with water. Add a pinch of salt, which is used to help the pot come to a boil faster and help flavor the pasta. Then, set aside to boil.
Hey, how do we make... It's like, hey, how do we do more content for Vita Carnes?
Add your crawl and a sharp knife. Begin to cut the meat into a rough mince.
Okay, what did they use?
That I was going to say that almost looks like
It's plastic. I can tell that. I just can't tell what
Well,
they put
say,
in
like,
the plastic.
yeah, like maybe like crab
Crab?
legs, like
Crab
like-
meat or something like that, or some kind of fish. But I wonder if they do it behind the scenes, because it's like... Also, the fact that you sharpen your knife. It's got to be
Raw
like
is
crab
soft
meat
on
or
the
something.
outside, but the interior has a surprising sturdiness.
It's got to be like crab stuff
Then,
or something.
gather the meat and set aside.
I'm sure there's a behind the scenes video where they explain how they did this. How they made some of the IRL stuff.
that'd be neat to know. Yeah,
Mince the green onion into rough segments.
use a different cutting board. What the hell?
Use
I
a
don't care if
different
it's some-
cutting board and also sharpen your goddamn knife.
See, I don't care if it's some like extraterrestrial meat you're using. Do proper
Take
cooking
this
technique.
mince and set aside as well.
I think this is all meant to just...
Next, grab your skillet and preheat with a long
Just be
sun
wrong.
oil.
Just
I think everything's meant to be wrong about this. The fact that there are people starting to
Take your
willingly
minced
eat
crawl and
the
spread
crawl,
it
though.
evenly across the skillet. Stir occasionally until crisp and brown. As your water reaches a boil, add your penne and stir occasionally.
I think the red might be a little too bright. We're going to have to wait till it dries and
Cook
do another
until
wash.
soft. At this time, your crawl will be brown and crisp. Add your minced
That doesn't
green onion and then the
Damn.
spices.
ground beef.
They changed it out to ground beef.
Mix
I'm just
well.
looking at the model right now. I'm like, okay, this is our placeholder. This is our
Once your
tester
pasta
one.
is
I'm
finished
kind of feeling the
cooking,
jacket.
strain it.
I think once the shoulder pad's dry, I will dry brush on some metallic in the helmet.
Lay your cooked penne evenly into your dish.
Cool. Also, why is this happening again where my computer's like What the fuck you mean you're overheating?
Then add the crawl topping.
Well, my computer's also for some reason running hot, and I don't know why.
Oh, I know why. I forgot to switch my cooling profile from way still recording stuff back to normal, so the fans have been off this entire time.
Ooh, yeah, you
Sprinkle
probably
a
turn this back
generous
on.
amount of cheese along the still warm crawl for it to melt.
Yeah, it's ground beef now.
At this point, finish preparing the dish with your flavor enhancer, but allow your dish to cool to a temperature below
Somebody just
60 degrees
doesn't know how to play the
Celsius,
guitar, just
or
starts
else the
strumming really
enhancer
loud.
will not work. And now you may serve and enjoy.
I guess make it really loud and staticky and like, yeah.
Many people get pets for companionship. They form bonds and grow relationships with these animals, even to the point of them being considered a part of the family. Most people get dogs or cats, but maybe you want something more interesting. Then, you may want to get yourself a trimming. These lumps of meat have grown a reputation to be a loving companion for many people in the recent months. Although, most people may not know the proper ways to care for them. Today, we will be showing you how you can care for your pet trimming. Taking care of a trimming is fairly easy, but this is no reason to slack off. They are living things and do require maintenance.
Can you still see the mainstream?
The first thing to keep in mind when keeping a
Yes.
trimming
Yeah.
is the temperature of
Also,
your
apparently
home.
my
While trimmings are resilient to both high and low conditions,
AIO
you want to keep
will
your base
freak out and
temperature
consider
near
going into
room
overheating
temp,
failsafe
maybe
mode if
slightly
the
cooler.
I think the sensor
That
or the
being
CPU
said, trimmings
or
prefer
for the
warmer areas to nest.
pump hits like
A
60
simple
Celsius.
setup you may use is a box with some blankets
Calm down.
on the inside.
Weird.
Make sure there is enough for your trimming to cover itself. And now, you have a comfy bed for your buddy.
In a weird way, it's
Next,
kind of cute,
you
but
want to give your trimming the best diet possible. Trimmings are not picky eaters, and will eat anything you give them. To keep your trimming healthy and strong, a diet of dry cat or dog food that is high in protein, provided 2 times a day, is best. As a treat, you may give your trimming any scraps of your food. Things like apple cores, banana peels, or eggshells are a perfect snack. A thing to remember is trimmings are nocturnal and make plenty of noise.
I will say my voice recording, like custom profile for IQ, did technically work as intended,
they're
which is.
nocturnal.
To prevent you from having sleepless nights,
How about no?
try to give your trimmings
But yeah, no, because the
first meal in
fans,
the late
I've
morning
said so.
or
Like when I'm doing like any
afternoon.
kind of like voice recording stuff, they like
This
are
helps
not
them be
on until it gets to
active
like
during these times
too hot. Then I'll
instead.
just immediately kick everything to like max like RPM.
So they're
Another
parrots.
thing to consider if you want a pet.
So they're basically parrots. You have to trick them into like staying awake during the day.
Jesus.
Because that's the problem with parrots. Parrots are nocturnal. So what ends up happening is, with parrots, because they're nocturnal, they start waking up in the middle of the night, and they just wake you the fuck up. So what you gotta do is you gotta trick them at night into doing the reverse, or something like that. I don't know if I like the helmet. I don't mind the gas mask. The backpack came out decent. The jacket came out good. The pants are about where I want them. Shoulder pads are okay. I mean, it kind of looks where I was going. Where it matches the standard guardsman. Where am I? Hello? There we go. So here's a standard guardsman. See, I did a black helmet. I should have done a black helmet. That probably would have been better. Oh, it's because their armor is reversed. That's why. I just wanted the black jacket instead of the red. So, I mean, it still kind of works. What do you think? Is the placeholder one?
Yeah, that looks good.
Or should we try and copy more of this and do it with like a red jacket with black armor?
That. I don't know. I think it looks good. How it looks.
I know. It's just this is what the standard like Nami's heroes are supposed to look like. But since these are Kreigsmen, it's like I kind of want them. The black jacket kind of fits better. Because the thing is, all these guys are going to get kind of copied the same. So I just want to make sure I have this paint scheme down before I commit to it.
Trimming is where they will
I do
be
kind of
living.
like that they went.
Your home should have enough space for
That they
your
actually
trimming
made like
to roam
puppets and
around,
stuff instead of just
as
being
well
lazy
as
and use
access
like.
to the outdoors, like a backyard.
I don't know what
CGI or
If
something.
not,
Well, the
be
CGI
sure to
wouldn't
take
have been
your
as bad
trimmings
either,
on
but-
regular walks. This gives your trimming the exercise they need, as well as allowing them to meet other trimmings. Trimmings are a social creature and need to interact with others of their kind, like how they do in the wild. When it
Don't
comes
think
to entertainment, trimmings are not the most active and aren't the best at fetch or tug of war. But here are other ways to keep your trimming entertained. Some toys that trimmings like are little items they can push, around, pull, or carry.
Like I said, it's kind of they're
Trimmings
kind of
also
weirdly
enjoy
cute.
things that you enjoy as well. Like
But I'm
watching
waiting
the
for where we
television
find out,
or
like, you,
listening to the radio. They
have
love
to, like,
seeing
burn
and
off
listening
the,
to all the funny things
crawl
coming
when
from the
they're around.
devices.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing when they're near
After
radios,
a
they can hear
long
the
day,
singularity.
your trimming might be dirty and need a wash. To clean them, start your bath with a gentle warm water mixed with a bit of hand or body wash. Gently scrub the trimming's feet, armpits, belly, and neck fold. Remember to be careful around their face and avoid getting soap in their eyes, nose, and mouth. Gently pat dry with a towel when done.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop out of here because
Now
I am
your buddy
so
is all
tired.
clean.
Go ahead, sweetie.
Yeah, have fun watching creepy crawly critter friends.
Yeah, Vita Carnus.
And lastly, as
Yeah.
said
Watch it
before,
yourself.
trimmings are social creatures,
Yeah.
so be sure to give them plenty of
I'm gonna
affection.
paint a couple more of these, and then
They
we'll
love
see how I
receiving
feel.
pats, scratches, and pets. They also love to sit with you and cuddle. Since they communicate with each other in the wild, it is best to replicate this behavior with them as well. Simply talking to them is plenty enough. You can talk about your day, if anything interesting happened at work, if you are working on any new recipes, or talk about the weather. Trimmings are very good listeners and love to be involved.
Like I said, they're almost weirdly
With all of these
cute.
in mind, you are now well equipped to have a trimming become a part of the family. Do things right, and you will have a companion for a long while.
Hmm.
of 1945, with the war finally ended, the cleanup process had started. During routine sweep of an underground train tunnel, the cleanup crew made a grotesque discovery. Found completely filling the tunnel was a meaty wall, and in the center of the mass was an opening with several skulls surrounding it. Closer inspection of the blockage revealed that the mass was actually an extremely engorged meat snake. Its impeccable size had blocked off the entirety of the tunnel's path. There was many strange things with this creature. First was the coloration. A typical meat snake's color is bright reds and light browns. This particular meat snake was a very deep maroon. Another strange thing about it was its behavior. This creature barely moved. Meat snakes are normally sluggish and encumbersome, but the specimen discovered seemed to lack even basic motor functions. Its behavior was that of a plant's, stationary, with only minor movements within. One would assume it was dead. The reason the meat snake may act this way may be because it was completely lodged in place and minimized movements to conserve energy. But how would it have gotten this deep into the tunnel in the first place? And by the looks of weathering, it had been in there for quite some time. So how did it get so large? The answer was discovered by a different cleaning crew, who found the other end of the tunnel. They followed it until it met with the other end of the meat snake. Alongside it was a huge pile of carcass.
Yeah.
This meat snake's skin also displayed great amounts of resilience. It took several days of cutting to even obtain a sample. Here, you can see the clear difference between this meat snake specimen versus a normal meat snake's membrane. Testing on the sample showed that it had great immunity to damage. It tolerated extreme freezing temperatures, extreme heat temperatures, and even high doses of radiation. It is a wonder how such durability can occur in an organic creature. Another strange phenomenon is the smell off the skin. Normally, it would have a sour smell of rotting flesh, but the specimen displayed a rather pleasant smell, like that of cooking scrambled eggs. Meat snake was later discovered to be missing by unknown survivors. How the meat snake grew in size was discovered to be
Somebody was feeding it. Oh joy.
As of the time of this video's release, we have been facing a concerning increase of missing persons and fatalities on a global scale. The reason for this is because we are under attack. We have discovered that there has been a significant growth of mimic populations, which is threatening public safety. National leaders have released this instructional recording to teach you on how to defend yourself. Here is what you need to know about the threat. Mimics are humanoid, intelligent predators that are highly adaptive and feed solely on human prey. Mimics gain information on people by watching their daily lives and pick to hunt people when they are most vulnerable. The most common times a mimic will attack is when you are asleep, that walking alone, or in a cornered position. Mimics are cautious and calculative creatures, taking precautions to ensure a successful hunt. They utilize various tactics to capture a person by surprise. One of the more well-known tactics is hiding itself inside of furniture, to blend into its environment. Common objects that mimics can hide inside are sofas, recliners, wardrobes, ottomans, and other places a mimic can comfortably wait. Mimics are able to contort their body in ways that allow them to fit inside smaller places. They also use it to expand their body, making themselves appear larger for intimidation. Another method mimics use to blend in is their ability to put on and wear clothing. Mimics put on layers of shirts, pants, and jackets to hide their bright red skin and blend into densely populated areas. In very rare cases, mimics can develop and grow to look very similar to human beings. Pairing this with clothing, it can be very hard to tell the difference between a mimic and a person right away. If you are unsure if a person is a mimic, look out for key features that may reveal their true form. Look for abnormal facial features, like large, bulbous eyes, flat noses, wide mouths and an uncanny smile, and clammy skin. Also pay attention to other exposed body parts like hands. Mimic people will have long fingers with no fingernails. If you are unable to see their face or hands, watch their walking pattern. Mimics' legs are long and hunched. Their walking will be unusual and irregular. Here is what you do if you are met with a mimic. If it stands before you, do not panic. Stand your ground and try to appear larger. Wave your hands and make plenty of noise. Maintain eye contact. A mimic will hesitate to attack a potential threat. If you are armed with a weapon, aim for the head or legs. These are the best areas to hit to immobilize the threat. Fight back and don't let it get a hold on you. If you find a mimic that hasn't discovered you yet, stay out of sight. Call the authorities and alert them of your location. Stay where you are to avoid startling the mimic. If the mimic gives chase, run. Try to get somewhere out of sight and hide. Do not leave the area. Officials will need to locate you to help. Stay low and stay quiet. With the information you have learned, use it well, and stay safe.
My nose.
Got it. See. Yep, it's working.
Hey, can we get a move on?
One sec. Yeah. Okay. Hello.
I thought you only had 30 minutes of tape on that.
I know, but gotta see how it works. Like,
Yeah, well,
I never got to
don't
use
have
one
all
of these.
night.
It's too bad. You were the only person who could film with me, so you're gonna have to put up with it.
Fine.
Screw you. Screw you.
Screw you.
Still way too dark. One sec. There we go. Hello. Yeah. Oh, there we go. You got some light now. But look at that over there. You can't see anything unless I like point directly over there. Like.
Probably should wait
can't see nothing.
till it dries.
Are you sure we should be out this late?
Fine. I'll cook you stuff when we get home. Don't worry.
I'm hungry.
Too bad.
Too bad. This feels like it's just one of those things where they were recording with each other and then they decided to make it into the part of the video series. Okay, get to it.
Ah, shit.
Ooh, jumps, yeah.
Right, but it still turns off and on randomly for some reason. Like, it's the best thing I could get my hands on, though. Turning on and off, but it's the only thing that they would give me. It works, so I just gotta watch.
This is gnarly.
It's not my fault this guy lives in a fucking dump. We're almost there, we just gotta get through the woods. You see it, though? Hopefully I show up on camera, so... hopefully there are lights out there. Like, people still live there, right? Can't be that bad.
Pretty dark to me.
But it was just one guy. I don't know why. Like, why would they get rid of everything? Dogs barking are never a good sign.
No.
Well, the sky looks nice. This thing can't capture it. I can barely capture the ground in front of me.
So, what are we doing out here exactly?
Well, supposedly they found some guy. Like it was like a grody scene. Like, it was disgusting. Like they had to get rid of the trailer he was in, and then like they didn't let anyone nearby, and it was like this big conspiracy. So I'm filming that. Hopefully I get a good mark for it.
Yeah, there's probably a reason for that.
There we go, we're getting close. Careful.
I know where we're going.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're on the road. We're right next to it. Like, it's literally up there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. It's not too late yet.
Hungry.
Said that already.
Yeah? I'm still hungry.
Doing okay. Almost there. It'll be like 5 minutes. 5 minutes, okay? We're on the road. We're almost there. We just got past the tree line and make the way to the trailer park. Then we can go home. Okay?
Okay.
I don't want to be out here either. It's weird. Like,
Yeah, you're recording it, which means you do want to be out there.
You go ahead. You can't see a thing.
Where am I even going?
Just up here. There should be a path. Right there. Yeah, right here. See, I found the path. We're all good.
I'm gonna wait on doing this one because I want to see how we can make this one look a little bit better. And you, and you. So I'm going to guess it's going to be a mimic that chases after them.
This way. I think this way.
You think?
Yo, look at this. I didn't see this on my way over here last time. It's cool. Like we could get a shot of this in like atmosphere, you know?
It just looks like tetanus to me.
Hold on. One sec. Let me get a good lighting on that. There we go. Yeah, look at that.
There's going to be like a mimic or something for sure.
Hey, look, some old stuff here as well. Anyways. We're on the flat part now. Yeah, we're close. Trailer should be right up ahead. This is where everyone was. There's no one here now, though. Not a single building in sight. Except like way over there. But there's no one here. It's the strangest thing. This is the spot. Right here. Yeah. This thing. Okay. So you take the camera and the light. Point at me, but don't point at my eyes, please. Like a bark bag. Alright, give me a second.
Yeah, we can't hear anything because it's confidential. Alright. Basically, he's telling the story of what happened.
You said grizzly way too much.
What?
You said grizzly way too much.
Too much?
Yeah.
Okay, shall I retry?
Sure.
Okay.
Pause.
is it rolling? Did you get to that?
Oh,
30 minutes to film, and yet I needed someone to film. Alright. No hard feelings, okay?
okay.
It's pretty steady out here. I know. I understand. Yeah, 'cause, like, back there was the perfect time for us to jump out and grab us, you know?
Cut it out. Scary enough as is. Chris? Chris? Chris?
See, the thing is, this
Where
is
are
a
you?
world where they know the Venus TARDIS exists.
Chris! Come on! This isn't funny! Chris! I just want to go home, come on! Fine, I guess I'm going home without you. I'm cold, tired, and hungry. If you want to stay out here and play games, you can. Chris? What are you doing? Chris, this isn't funny. Oh! God!
And the traditional analog horror bit. Alright, I'm gonna be right back. So, all of you enjoy some music for a few minutes. I should have went with all the break was going on, but it's like, I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. I think we're just going to finish watching a few more episodes. I kind of don't want to commit painting them all this way until I have another set of eyes look at it. Because I'm feeling it. But I could also be feeling it right now and then come back tomorrow and be like, oh, I should have done the jackets a certain way or this a certain way. So we're going to go just switch to just watching the series straight up. For the next 30 minutes. 30, 40 minutes. Population of harvesters located on a monthly basis. Huh. Weirdly photoshopped faces. Alright. Some weird abnormality. Abnormal shit going on. And of course, yep. So this is supposed to be disturbing imagery. Or one of the kids is a mimic and one of the kids was a mimic. They're moving. Oh wait, are these the... Oh wait, no, these are the bear trap ones. Ooh, but there's merch. So what I'm guessing is that the harvesters... Yeah, I'm betting what happened is kid fell in, then mom fell in trying to save
Flavor. The most crucial component to enjoying a good meal.
And
the way
now we're getting
food
to the evil
tastes is
corporation.
what makes eating so pleasurable. But what if you could savor every little detail you could possibly want? That is why we, at Nutrier Co., have made it so that you may enjoy every single bite
Oh
you
look,
take.
it's the sphere.
With our product, the Flavor Enhancer, you can extract every last morsel of taste from your plate. With overwhelming demand for this essential product, even since our start earlier this year, we have delivered what you wanted. Now introducing the Flavor Enhancer Deluxe. Now packaged in a larger size and modified recipe, there is now even more savory goodness to go around. Since our debut in mid-1990, the Flavor Enhancer has shown to be a major hit, with our product flying off the shelves. The Flavor Enhancer Deluxe will allow us to satisfy your growing, tasting needs. Now allowing you to add even more enhancer to your dinner, making your food even better to enjoy.
Yeah.
The Flavor Enhancer Deluxe, available on shelves now. Nutrier Co. Experience true savor.
These larger serving sizes make dining even more pleasant, now allowing more generous amounts of enhancer at a time. Flavor Enhancer Deluxe, now available in stores near you. Nutrier Co. Experience true savor.
It's made out of the Vena Cordis stuff.
Make your taste buds pop with the new deluxe size. Make tasting even more awesome.
Yeah, it's very clear.
Spoil your kids with this essential part of every meal. Nutrier Savor.
Yeah, it's made out of the vines or something.
Flavor Enhancer Deluxe. Required for all meals, no matter how small it seems, just a little more. It is crucial to everyday eating.
Okay, I'm getting very they live vibes. That's just giving me a headache though, that pitch they're taking. I feel there's some piece of information we're missing. Confidential info. Facing charges and reports of sickness and consumption of the product enhancer. Yeah, it's almost like it's not meant for human consumption. We're obviously yeah. Yep. So basically this stuff is What's the stupid fungus from The Last of Us? It's that stuff. I didn't get to fully read that. New log. To carcass.
In the distant horizon, the group of monoliths stand vacant. Although closed off to outsiders, their stance can be observed well outside the perimeter. It is known to have hundreds of thousands of fibers that weave themselves deep underground, all connected in a grand mycelial network.
You might be confused as to why you received this package. This was left to you because we share a common goal. I'm aware that you studied the carcass and researched their properties. I'm also aware that you have received backlash for doing so. Something isn't as it seems, and you know this too. Unexplained phenomena, countless casualties, missing persons, fatalities, and yet no proper action, and notable silence about these affairs. People are afraid and confused. Why is nothing being done? Because they don't want us to know.
Yeah, evil corporation and government protecting the fact that this shit is allowing them to, like, brain control or something.
They have slowly been numbing our minds to their schemes. But they've made one crucial error. Trails, crimes, traces of information. I've collected these pieces and found their loose ends. This is why I've left this message to you. The document's included with the standard is all the information that I have gathered. Every continuity, every cover, every clue that I could find, they all lead here. Something has been going on these few years. Something big. Something they don't want us to know about. Each way you come in. We don't have the power to change things, but you do. Alongside the documents are plans. Plans for a meeting one of great importance. You have the resources. This information I have provided to you, I hope you can put a stop to all the scandals. I just hope it isn't too late.
Most likely you're in an apocalypse situation right now. If this has been going on since the 30s, yeah.
The monoliths are truly an astonishing sight to behold.
But yeah, this is horrors beyond our human comprehension. We're trying to fight back. The fact that they call themselves Carcass, though, is concerning.
Mission brief. Three ground teams are tasked with infiltrating a previously abandoned mall titled Facility Zero, which is located in the restricted zone based on our info. The mission will take place in 3 stages: infiltration, encirclement, and ambush. Primary objective is to capture the facility and seize the items of interest for extraction. Numerous armed guards are located within the facility. Avoid detection and keep up your guard.
Service producing tons of material have been located in various locations. Continents. Also have been located by strange signatures being made.
Alpha team, in position.
Beta team, in position.
Gamma team, in position.
Copy. Beginning phase 1.
Eyes on the point. Clearing pathway now. Pathway cleared. Give us the green light.
So they can neutralize the harvesters.
Copy. Green light is a go. Begin phase 2 in advance.
Alpha team, copy. Beginning advance. All right, we're heading out. Move, move, move!
Yeah, they have to use animation here.
Lights off. Come on. Move.
It's not very good CGI, but the fact that they're doing it with darkness is purposely. I don't even know if you guys could see that. They just saw one of the monoliths and it just looked like it was looking at them.
Keep your distance. Single file.
So they're moving by another monolith, which...
Halt! In position. Awaiting green light. Eyes are secure. Turning blind. Lights green.
Copy. Green light is a go. Begin phase 2 in advance.
So I can't tell if they're actually moving or if it's just like showing different pictures. Yeah, they keep showing this room, and I'm not sure what the hell's going on. Who just set off the notification?
Alpha team in position. We are experiencing mechanical interference. Should we resume? Copy. Phase 3 is still a go. Preparing for breach.
Breach in 3, 2, 1. Breach.
Get down! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Get down! Get down! Put down your weapon! Get down! Put down your weapon! Put your hands up! Get down!
So they're worshiping it. Clearly. That was interesting. So people have been worshiping the court, Lavina. Oh god, there's already stuff. Okay, cool. Well, let's start season 2, and then we'll probably watch more of this later this week. But let's see if this falls under the usual, oh joy, the baby ones are getting terrifying now. It very much feels like they got like way better animation for this, so this will be interesting. Coming soon, kinda. Wonder if this is being done on purpose. I really should sit down and try and figure out how to do, like, an analog horror.
Today something has happened within the restricted zone, where a large group of cultists have been apprehended. Several teams of military personnel have arrested some high-ranking cultists and have unmasked their identities to the public. Shockingly, several of these members are well-renowned politicians and high-ranking members of multiple governments across the
Many
globe.
documents have been released providing sufficient proof of the atrocities that were being committed. Some of these crimes include murder, kidnapping, torture, ritual sacrifice, and the list goes on.
The members are found guilty of deliberately providing false information to the public in an attempt to cause harm.
The New Trier Company has been found to have very significant ties with cultist activity and has been shut down. All New Trier products have been deemed hazardous for consumption.
Cultivation farms are facing pressure to shut down. Public unrest grows as the New Trier cult case brings more crimes that were hidden away to light.
The people are outraged by how little was actually being done.
They demand that something be done to handle the current species.
Riots appear in the streets as protests begin to turn.
Secret World Order. Yeah, well, that's kind of what I figured what would happen with the singularities.
Welcome to Magister's Wonder Show. I am the Magister, and get ready to explore all of the world's wonders. Today, we are learning about the circle of life.
Vector.
Test report number 4. We still know very little about the nature of the entities. There are 7 singularities in total. Each singularity is roughly 1 meter in diameter. They are made of an unknown material, although it looks and feels very similar to glass. We are unable to sample it in fear of causing potential damage. The material is very dark in color, but has red shimmers of light swirling inside. There are some hints of other colors present, but is mostly dominated by the red. Each entity hovers above the ground in a stationary position, although they can be moved with relative ease. Our equipment can detect some subtle pulses of energy in rhythmic but random patterns.
Yeah, they're basically like... I can't tell if it's laughing.
We don't know what they are. We don't know if it is breathing or communicating. We don't even truly know if they are even organic. This is nothing new, just confirming what we already know. Our first experiments didn't give any interesting leads. The most we got was some interference with electronics, especially when there is more than one kept close together. But the experiment we conducted showed extremely significant results. The experiment played out like this. In test chamber 1, a live cow was released into the chamber with V1 for an extended period. They were left together for 24 hours. The test showed minimal results from the entity and an increase in stress from the cow. Next, the body of a cow was put into the chamber with V1 for 24 hours. The results were extraordinary. 5 hours after the whole body had been ingested, concentrations of Kroll rapidly grew from several points from within the chamber. What this could mean, it rewrites everything we knew about the Vita Carnis species.
Allow the crawl to grow out.
its egg. It will roam around and find food to help it grow and grow. Once they are big enough, they transform into a pupa, and after some more time, they transform into an adult beetle. The adult beetle will go out into the world in search of food.
Audio log. Progress report for crawl samples. Cultivation has been successful. So far, we grew them with 3 specific environmental factors. 1 is our control group, 2 with access to additional nutrition sources, and 3 with exposure to radio signals. Group 1 grew on par with standard crawl samples. No distinct abnormalities. Group 2 grew at a faster pace than the control group, as expected. No distinct abnormalities. Group 3 grew against its normal pattern, weaving its way toward the radio. Once the device was claimed, it switched to usual growth patterns. Again, no distinct abnormalities. In conclusion, the samples that were grown in V1's test chamber don't seem to differ from others grown from other sources. Still, we will continue with more factors and further groups, just in case.
The
There have
radio
been some
thing's more
developments
interesting.
in the propagation group. V1 samples have seemingly been able to produce nodules at a slightly quicker rate than wild samples. Control groups show that V1 samples begin node development a few days faster. More time will be needed to say for sure. As for the nodes themselves, there aren't any distinct abnormalities. We have successfully hatched a dozen Carnish juveniles, several trimmings, 2 meat snakes, and even 1 mimic. We will be sending them to the enclosures after everyone's reports get sent out. End log.
And then is ground into a fine mince and is now ready for the garden.
So they're still using
Audio log.
Vena Cardis to grow food and stuff.
Colony. Significant progress in learning the social patterns of a group of trimmings we have been keeping together. A new batch of juveniles were added to the main colony at the beginning of the new progress report. They were accepted into the community immediately. No conflict or rejection observed. They did provide the circumstances to document more of their interactions. Trimmings communicate through a series of vocal cues. Colony members meeting the new batch with squeaks and squeals. They also are not afraid to show us when they are upset. Trimmings also use some physical displays as well. For example, trimmings do a chewing or chatter motion with their mouths when they are happy or interested in something. The experiment that we performed was to explore the extent of their communication skills. The test went like this.
It almost looks like the original puppet.
We took one of the trimmings and had them in place in a modified enclosure. A speaker would play 2 separate audio cues. A positive cue would play, followed by a treat, and a negative cue, followed by a small spray of cold water. We did several rounds of both audio cues to condition the trimming's response.
What the hell are they spraying it with?
After the test, the trimming was released back to its colony. And after a few hours, we tested how much the trimmings communicated. Another speaker was placed near the colony's enclosure, where we played the same audio cues. see how layered their social interactions can be.
So they're way more intelligent than they thought.
We tried something a bit bizarre. We found out that a wild colony had settled around the facility recently. It was strange what we did. It was a long shot. We set up a radio device near the wild colony and near ours. We linked both devices up and played the cues.
There's many dangers out there in the world.
So it's
There
a
are
hive
many
mind.
predators that would love to have beetles for a snack. And unfortunately, not all beetles make it. Yes, it is sad, but that's how the circle of life works. But look, one of the beetles has laid eggs. And once the beetle's eggs hatch, the beautiful cycle starts again. And life continues on.
So yeah, they're a hive mind of some sort. Huh. I know they're sponsored by Gamer Subs. Neat. Okay, we're starting with beetles again.
Now only the most beautiful, only the most unique specimens will be moving forward.
There are lots of fossils hidden on the Earth, and plenty make their way into rivers and streams. You can look for them too.
Audio log.
So this is where we
Progress
find out they've
report
been
on
here a lot
the
longer or
Meat
something.
Snake Recreation Project. From our previous report, the juvenile meat snake we selected was grown in a standard captivity cell until maturity. The specimen we had selected was now an acceptable size for the project to begin.
I'm wondering if they, because of the success of the first one, they made a... Yeah, this is that's a puppet.
Specimen was moved into restraints. Twice a day, we fed it fresh meat, scraps, roadkill, making sure that it received the necessary materials like bones and organs to grow. 4 days into feeding, the specimen's mood mellowed out. The usual intimidation display was now a patient eagerness. It seems that the specimen now understands that we are feeding it. 11 days into feeding, the specimen has slowed down immensely. It has also been occasionally rejecting food. It looks like we have been overwhelming it, not giving it enough time to properly digest and implement the material. Feeding has been reduced to once a day, but with an increase of portion size. 19 days into feeding, the meat snake has almost shut down entirely. It no longer reacts to external factors. It still accepts food, but with assistance. A makeshift mechanism was made to help the feeding process. Favorable results have begun to show. The hue of the specimen's skin has been turning shades darker. Sampling period seems to be approaching sooner than expected. Day 21 into feeding. The specimen has reached all the required criteria to begin sampling. We managed to obtain a skin patch intervention. We began with cold resistance. The typical meat snake skin can hold its integrity up to negative 30 degrees Celsius. The specimen sample survived down to negative 100 degrees, even maintaining flexibility. Next, the heat resistance test. The sample was able to withstand impressive temperatures. We were only able to bring the temp up to 3,000 degrees Celsius before we had to bring in new equipment. We used some welding equipment and determined that the sample's limit was capped at around 5,000 degrees Celsius. Sample testing was interrupted by a peculiar event with the specimen. Personnel during the routine feeding found that the meat snake had escaped its restraints by performing mitosis. The two organisms were simply wandering the lab at the time. The project has been halted for now, and the two meat snakes have been moved back into their original enclosure.
So...
we are preparing more tests at the start of the new process report. End log.
3,000 degrees Celsius. Yeah, it's welding equipment, but that...
You can make your own sieve at home. The mesh will catch large debris, allowing smaller things to pass through. But you can add more layers with different mesh to catch more things.
Lovely contestants so far, but there can only be one winner. And this year's winner is... Patty!
That's different.
This is my audio report for this month's progress, albeit a little bit late by a few months. Anyways, it's been a bit slow, but there have been some fascinating findings. I guess I'll start with the juveniles. Feisty fellas, already chock full of hunting instinct. Their hunting patterns are similar to other ambush predators. They will wait and then catch their prey with the element of surprise. They prefer to hunt prey smaller than themselves, stuff they can take down easily. But once they are older, they start getting a little cockier. But they have the killing technique to back it up. They usually aim for the throat or neck to deliver a kill as fast as possible. But once they metamorphosize into their adult form, it's harder to determine their patterns.
Yeah.
The juveniles we do manage to get into their adult form don't last very long. They simply hide away, rejecting all food we provide. As it is well known, adults only eat human flesh. The adults we have all die to starvation. The best candidates for research are the ones we capture out in the wild. They last longer, most likely due to them already having food and nutrients in their systems. It's not something I dwell on too often. I am thankful for the ones they bring in for me. We got several adults, even a few humanoid ones. We are able to understand a bit of how they work before they eventually whittle away. The hunting tactics of the adult forms change drastically from their previous form. Hunting now takes much longer as they observe and watch their prey. They are very cautious, waiting for the best opportunity. They take advantage of anything they can to get an upper hand. Their most popular tactic nowadays is climbing inside of furniture. Freshly metamorphosed adults are roughly 160 centimeters in height, but can fold themselves tightly into small spaces. One was even found inside one of those old-fashioned mannequins. And older adults still fit exceptionally well in tight places. It's funny, we didn't even know they could do this until the late 70s. They weren't even called mimics then. They were called, butchers. They changed it because its name better matched the description of characters in some kids' board game. Anyways, the hunting tactics beyond this are confusing to say the least. All depictions of their patterns have been wrong in one way or another. Ever since that public announcement in '86, they keep changing it. In reality, it is almost completely random. Each case in the wild is different and it's hard to determine why in captivity. Plus, human testing is a no-go. Even though I volunteered myself, I feel so close to figuring it out. Anyways, getting ahead of myself. The next stages are even harder to... Wait, how long do these tapes have to be?
So the mimics basically they're way smarter than they thought. Is what they're basically what we're getting from each of these tests is they're way smarter than we thought.
Look, this one would have fallen through our first sift. There are plenty of other fun things you can find as well.
Oh no, my sieve isn't working.
Looks like there's a hole in your mesh. Make sure your mesh isn't damaged, or else something might slip through.
Yeah.
Personnel room 21.
What happened?
My leg's tied. It's bad. It's bad. I'm bleeding.
What do I do?
I can't reach.
What do I do?
Help me down, please. Please.
We need medical assistance in test chamber 1.
Oh, God.
Stay calm. Help is on the way. Just try to stay
Damn
strong.
it. Oh, God.
Alright, we're here. We're going to help you. Lower the ladder slowly. This is going to hurt. Okay, hold still. Ready? Now!
What's happening? What's happening to him? Get him out of here now! Get him out!
Yeah, it's some kind of hive mind thing going on. Alright. Alright, so we're going to call it here. But let's go see if we have anybody we can go raid. Allie's probably about to end, so we're not going to go raid her. Let's see, one little detail. Alright. I'm trying to see if there's anybody worth raiding, but it looks like we're just... I think we're just going to call it here. We will be back tomorrow with either a horror game or more Donkey Kong Bonanza. I don't know yet, but I will let you all know before the stream starts. I hope you all have a good evening. I hope you all get a good rest. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you when I see you. Bye, my love.